We are live here with Airica Demia. And so, if this is your first time checking out content on HeartAsArt.com, I don't think we could have found a more suited guest. In case this is your first time checking us out, we cover all things wrestling, gaming, and things you would find on the floor of a comic book or an anime convention. So, with all that being said, I don't think we could have found a better guest than we did today. How are you, Erica?
I'm doing pretty good. Pretty
Good.
good.
I know we were chatting off the air. You had quite an eventful weekend.
Yes, I did. I did indeed.
So, well, let's roll right into it. So, you are, of course, a professional wrestler. You had an awesome time wrestling this weekend at a super cool event. But let's just kind of go from the drawing board. What did level one of pro wrestling look like for you? How did you get into this phenomenal career that we all love?
So I just kind of grew up watching my dad wrestle. So he wrestled in a really small promotion, and so I live in Lincolnton, North Carolina. It was like in like the West Lincoln part of it. That place went for years. It shut down
Okay.
in 2020 due to COVID, but he started training in around 2003, and I was born in 2004.
Okay.
So I've been around it just my whole life and took it way too seriously when I was a kid. But when I was like 7, I was like, hey, I want to wrestle. And my dad was like, no,
Absolutely not.
absolutely not. You're clumsy, you're gonna get hurt. No. Um, and then when I was 14, he was like, hey, you want to learn how to wrestle? I was like, yeah. Yes. And it just kind of went from there.
That's awesome. And so you said you took it way too seriously as a kid. I think a lot of myself included, a lot of people watching this can probably be found guilty of that. But what were some of your favorite matches that you remember growing up that stuck with you that reinforced you wanting to get into the ring?
Honestly, I didn't really know anything about TV wrestling until NXT first started coming
Okay.
around. The only thing I knew about wrestling was my dad and the place that he worked for and the people that he worked with. Couldn't tell you what my favorite matches were, like specifically, but
Mhm.
most of them were probably my dad. As far as actual wrestling goes, I have matches that I hate and I have matches that I love, but I don't think I could really pick a favorite.
What are some that you absolutely love?
Um, Definitely Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega, those ones. Um, I don't know. I don't really think about it too much. Like I know when I see it, I'm like, "Ooh, I love that," and then I
Yeah.
might just forget about it entirely. I usually think about the stuff that I have going on rather than like this might sound really bad because like a lot of people are like, "Yo, wrestling's my whole life." It's my whole life too. I just don't watch a lot of TV anymore.
No, that's totally fair. But Osprey against Omega, you cannot go wrong with. I remember watching that. I think it was the second match, the one they did at Forbidden Door, and I was texting with one of my friends, and I said, "This is one of those matches that if people ask me, why do you watch that? Why is this something you devote so much time to? That's something I would send them to watch and be like, watch this 30 minutes or however long it was, and just watch the storytelling and watch the action and tell me you couldn't be hooked after that."
I mean, fair enough. A lot of my favorite stuff is Kenny Omega is my favorite wrestler. Um, a lot of the stuff that got me hooked was like the dumber stuff he did, like wrestling the blow up doll and the 9-year-old girl. Just watching her kick the crap out of him was fantastic. Oh, I'm knocking things over. Don't mind me.
I think that's something people forget about with Omega's career. Like you look at him now and you think of him as the best bout machine and everything he did with Bullet Club and everything he did with AEW. But he had some really goofy stuff before he became the best bout machine that is definitely worth watching for sheer entertainment value.
Yes, the less serious wrestling matches are the most fun to do, but they're also like very fun to watch, especially in person. Like being at a convention wrestling show where we all just get to dress up as different characters is the best thing ever. It's insanity. Love it.
And there's so much of that as we're recording this, we're like a week out from Halloween. So there's so much of that going around right now, and it's just such a fun time.
Hmm. Definitely.
So you talked a lot about your dad and wrestling being a family affair, and you mentioned wanting to get into the ring at a pretty young age. Was there a certain moment that made you want to do it, or was it just growing up and watching your dad train and get in the ring and do his thing?
So, a funny story that I forgot about until very recently. I remember when I was little, so my dad trained people for a very brief amount of time. I remember watching those guys get in and not know how to take a bump, and I'm like, I could do it better than they could. That is what started me wanting to be a wrestler. It's like, I want to show up all these grown men. And then I was like, I actually started paying more attention to it. I was like, hey, Dad, can I be a wrestler too? No, my bad. Sorry.
So did you end up then at 14 when your dad said, "Okay, you want to get in the ring?" That's when you learned how to start taking the bumps and show everybody up.
Actually, yeah, he said that the first bump I ever took was near perfect.
Really?
I was so mad at those people that wouldn't just get over it and do it. And I was like, well, I'm scared, but like, if I don't just get over it and do it, then what the heck was I talking about then?
That's awesome. You put your money where your mouth was. You said, "I'll do it," and then you did it.
Yeah, I did. I did indeed.
Oh,
I'm really proud of myself too.
you should be. That's awesome. And I know wrestling is a total family affair for you. So how has it been working with your dad from your early training days up until what you're doing in the ring now? Has it just been an awesome experience working with your dad?
Um, so other than myself, he is my biggest critic. So most of the time, yes, it is fantastic. Other times, he's telling me what I did wrong and what I need to fix. And he's a dad, so dads have that certain tone when they talk to you. So sometimes it's just like, why are you yelling at me? He's like, I'm not yelling at you, I'm helping you. You know, dads. But I love working with my dad. I would never trade it for absolutely anything.
There's so many conversations replaying in my head now that you said that.
That's hilarious.
That's awesome though. And so let's talk a little bit about your character because like I said in the beginning, your character and being in wrestling is just so in step with what we do here at Heart is Art. And so how did your character is obviously very My Hero Academia inspired, the green hair, the name, the ring gear, everything. But how did you grow up as a gamer as well? How did that path start for you?
I did grow up as a gamer. I think the first game I remember playing, it might not be the first game I ever played, was The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time.
Oh, such a solid
Um,
choice.
and like Animal Crossing. And I remember playing a game called Monster Rancher 4 on the PS2, I think. A lot of really random games. But The Legend of Zelda has been like a staple video game like series. Because my dad's loved it since he was a kid. My mom likes it. My grandma likes it. Like, so, it's just part of my life, I guess. It's the only
Zelda
way I
is
can figure out how to phrase it.
Zelda is a family affair. That's awesome. And that's one of the few franchises that's been around long enough to truly have that.
Definitely.
Are
It's great.
you still actively playing Zelda games then, I take it?
Yes, my dad and I are currently playing Echoes of Wisdom together. It's him playing it, but anything that he can't figure out, I start playing and I just fiddle with it until I figure it out. And he's like, good job, kid.
So what were your thoughts then on Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom being kind of a total 180 from some of the other things the series has done?
Personally, I loved both of them. I keep
Mhm.
seeing a lot of Tears of Kingdom hate, and I don't agree with that at all. I'm like, people are like, it's the exact same as Breath of the Wild. I'm like, no, it's not. First of all, yes, it has some of the same game mechanics, but they have all new ones in there that are not the same at all. What are you talking about? These people are crazy. I'm sorry if you have that opinion about these games, but you're crazy. With all due respect.
That is totally fair. And you've been playing Zelda since you were such a child that I feel like you have such a valid, yeah, your opinion is very valid on that.
I appreciate you saying that. My dad is also a huge advocate for those games. Like, I love Breath of the Wild, but I love Tears of the Kingdom. It's so good. I don't know if I can go back to playing Breath of the Wild after playing Tears of the Kingdom just because there's so much more to do. But yeah.
That's awesome. And so, aside from Zelda, were there any other like childhood franchises you still keep up with? I know Animal Crossing had a huge resurgence here a few years ago with the Switch release.
Yeah, Animal Crossing and Minecraft was a big one. I played Minecraft on my cousin's tablet for the first time. I don't know how old I was. I remember times, but I don't remember ages or years. That's I don't know why. I just can't remember. But he got so mad at me because I didn't ask. And I just went into, I think I made my own world, so I don't know why he was that mad. I think it was just that I was using his tablet without asking,
Fair.
which I shouldn't have done that. But I really, 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 really wanted to play Minecraft because that's when it first started getting really popular. Um, but I still play Minecraft to this day. I have a castle that I built recently that I completely forgot about and just rediscovered like a few days ago. So that was wild. I don't know. I'm a big fan of Fallout too, the
Oh,
Fallout
right
series.
on.
I haven't played the first one, but I've played New Vegas 3, 4, and 76. I did not enjoy 76. Could not figure out what the frick was going on.
You were not alone in that boat.
I was like, what is happening? I remember walking into somewhere and there was a floating trash can. So I was like, what is this about? Hello? What are we doing? Um, what else do I play? I don't know. Mario, definitely. I beat Mario Odyssey. It was the first Mario game I ever beat. I don't know if I've beat any Mario games since that, but yeah,
So
Mario.
definitely big on the Nintendo side.
Love Nintendo.
And so, just to take it back to Fallout for a second, did you watch the television show that was on Amazon Prime?
I did not. I planned to, and then I forgot about it because I've also been starting a lot of new anime recently. Started watching Jujutsu Kaisen for the first time a few days ago on episode like 5, 6, maybe. I
That's
love it.
actually that's a perfect segue into anime. I just spent a lot of time at an anime convention at Anime Magic in the Chicago area a couple of months ago. Had a whole bunch of content coming out from that, but it goes without saying, and we referenced it a little bit earlier. You're a huge anime fan. You've incorporated anime into your ring personality.
Yes.
Did you
I have a
start?
whole anime wall over here. I want to see if I can.
Oh yeah, let's see if we can see
No,
it.
this is not going very well. There you go. Oh, things are falling. That's the best I got. I can't do much more than that. But anime.
So did you
Oh
start
Lord.
watching anime about the same age that you started playing video games?
Yeah. Just about. First anime I ever watched. Hold on, sorry, fixing my cord. First anime I ever watched is called Inuyasha. For nostalgia purposes, that is my favorite anime. But My Hero Academia is like neck and neck.
Neck and neck with the nostalgia from back in the day.
Yes.
So
100%.
did your dad also get you into that, or was that something you found on your own?
Both of my parents are actually huge Inuyasha fans. So we all sat down and they showed me the first episode of it. And the Mistress Centipede thing from the first episode scared me so bad. I was like, I can't go take a bath right now. I'm scared. My mom was like, go take your bath, please. Just go. You're gonna be fine. It's not real. But yeah, I was a massive scaredy cat when I was little, bro. It's not even funny. I was scared of everything. You know the Nickelodeon show I Real Monsters?
Yes, yes, I
Scared
do
the crap out
remember.
of me. It scared
Really?
me. Yes. I loved it, but it scared me. And I don't know if I'm embarrassed to admit that or not. I mean, I'm an adult now, so it obviously doesn't scare me, so I shouldn't be embarrassed, but I was a little
I think we all have that one thing from our childhood that you look back now and you laugh at, but it just terrified you back then.
Yeah, I got quite a lot of those actually.
So were there any other maybe animes that didn't terrify you and stick with you for a while, but were there some other animes that were super influential when you were growing up that you got into?
Um, I watched Full Metal Alchemist. That also scarred me.
Hmm.
Um, I haven't watched Brotherhood, but I watched the original anime. Um, I need to rewatch it because it's been a long time. I started rewatching it recently and then I forgot because I only have it on DVD. I can't find the regular one anywhere, the one that's not Brotherhood. I'm like, I don't want to watch Brotherhood without my parents because like they haven't seen it either. But I got to like episode 4 and I dropped right back off of it and I was like, oops,
It happens.
it happens.
So, so how did you, and you had mentioned My Hero Academia being right up there neck and neck with number one for you. How did you decide to incorporate that into your wrestling persona?
So when I was 14, my dad's best friend and tag partner at the time was like, hey, y'all like superheroes and y'all like anime, y'all need to watch this. And we were like, we'll give it a shot. Watch the first episode, both of us were sobbing by the end of it. Um, and I resonated with Deku, the main character, because he's a crybaby. I'm a crybaby. I was really, really skinny and was like one of the weakest kids you're ever gonna meet. Same thing with him. Um, he didn't have a quirk and wanted to be a superhero, and I wanted to be a wrestler, and I was a little 100-pound 14-year-old girl. And there's just like a lot of similarities. And All Might to Deku is like my dad to me. So I guess there's just a lot of things that added up.
That's a really good point. Like your dad was also your mentor. You know, you're fighting side by side, or at least in the ring with him. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of similarities with All Might and Deku and you two.
Yup. And there's still new things that me and my dad figure out every day that make me like Deku. Uh, like, shoot. For example, nope, just kidding. I forgot. Thought of something and then I was like, wait, that's not right. That's not, yeah. If I think of anything, I'll let you know.
It'll
But as soon
it'll
as I went to say something, it just, gone.
it'll come back to you at like 2 in the morning when it has
It's not relevant anymore.
when there's nothing even remotely close to this going on. So, so other than My Hero, what else are you? Anything else that you're watching or any manga you're reading?
I'm not reading any manga right now. Um, I started watching 3 or 4 different anime recently, other than Jujutsu Kaisen.
Mhm.
One of them was called Zombieland Saga. I got 2 or 3 episodes in and was like, this is a lot. I need to watch this when I'm not exhausted. It's freaking hilarious. I like if you like comedies and K-pop and zombies, I recommend it. Um, Now if it gets past the second episode and it gets like really weird or like really gross or anything, I I apologize. I haven't looked that far into it. I'm
That's a
knocking more things over.
that's a great
Um,
disclaimer. You're not responsible for anything past the second
I'm
episode.
not. Nope. I'm not responsible for anything you see that makes you uncomfortable. I apologize. Uh, let's see. There's another one I started called Housing Complex C. Um, I didn't really get too far into that. It's supposed to be a horror anime, but it's not. It doesn't start off very spooky, so I lost interest. But I'm sure it's great. Like, you know, I started one called High Rise Invasion. That one I like a lot so far. I don't remember how many episodes I've watched of it. It is a horror anime, and I'm gonna look up the plot synopsis because I'm bad at not spoiling things while trying to explain. But I think it's really entertaining.
That's fair though, trying to hold off on the spoilers.
Um, okay. As Yuri finds herself in a bizarre world of endless buildings and masked killers, she'll do whatever it takes to find her brother and escape. That sounds really lame, but it's actually cool. Like I think it's cool.
Sounds perfect for, like I said, we're about a week out from Halloween, so as we're recording this, so that's like a perfect Halloween spooky night anime.
The last one I can think of right now is called Another. It is a supernatural horror anime, and I freaking love it, but I'm not used to watching subbed animes. This one doesn't have a dubbed
Uh,
option. So it's taking me a while to kind of get through it. Also, my TV, like it glitches a lot. So like some of the screen's darker than other parts, and it's a really dark colored anime. Plus with the subtitles, it's so hard to watch. But
That's
it's really cool if you like ghosts and stuff.
like I said, it's perfect for this time of year.
Yep,
That's
for sure.
awesome. And so you mentioned this a little bit when we were chatting before we went on air, but any you've done a couple of anime conventions, both with wrestling. Have you done them outside of wrestling just as a fan as well?
I have. I went to GalaxyCon Raleigh earlier this year,
Oh, that's a great
and
show.
I met the voice actor for Deku there, the English voice actor, and I have hold on, let me grab it.
Oh, this is gonna be great.
I have a signed picture from him, and I showed him so I have a promo picture of me doing this exact pose, and I showed that to him, and he's like, "That's really cool." And I was trying not to cry the whole time because I'm a crybaby, and I'm meeting my hero. Like this is literally him meeting All Might. Same thing. Um, so that was really cool. And the wrestling shows I've been doing is also like it's connected to GalaxyCon.
Oh, cool.
So there I met another voice actor recently. She played Ed from Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, right
That was
on.
really cool. Um, but yeah, uh, what else have I done? I don't know. I haven't been to like a ton of anime cons, but actually the only cons I've been to, one was like a Smash Bros thing, and I played Link, and then there was another one which is the same thing, but I played Luigi, and then the the I can't think or talk right now. I apologize. The con that I wrestled for before the one this past weekend, um, I played Frappy from My Hero Academia. That was in Des Moines, Iowa.
Okay.
It was like an Animate X Nightmare Weekend con. I still have my badge from it.
I have all of mine. You can't see it in screen. All of mine are hanging up somewhere over there.
Ah, I have my one from the Nightmare Weekend I just did this past weekend. They're both connected to GalaxyCon. I played the Pale Girl from Terrifier 2. I think she's only in the second one. Um that both of those were a lot of fun, and I got to meet a couple of cool people because of that. So yeah, I'm a huge nerd. I also have like a crap ton of pops, like anime pops, like directly ahead of me. I wish I could turn my camera around, but I don't think that's a good idea with what happened a few minutes ago.
That's fair. That's fair. We'll take your word for it. That's a super impressive collection. So, you've incorporated Deku into your ring gear. We've talked a little bit about conventions. Have you done any sort of like outside of wrestling? Have you done any sort of like cosplay for conventions?
um, I've done one, and I was Ochako Uraraka in her school uniform. I was 14, actually. And this was right before I went into high school. I think it was the summer that I was supposed to be starting
Mhm.
freshman year. Um, I would pull up a picture. It's the first post I ever put up on Instagram. If anybody's interested to go back and look at it, have fun scrolling through all of those though, 'cause I'm not doing it. It's gonna take forever. Um, that's the only cosplay I've done, but I really, really want to do more. Like I, I've been wanting to cosplay since I was 14, and my parents bought me that. Like I don't remember if it was a surprise, but I wouldn't put it past them because they love to do that.
Fair.
um, but there, oh my gosh, there's stuff right here, and I have like my elbows. Um, anyways, I was trying to think of any cosplays that I want to do. I know I want to cosplay Sheik from The Legend of Zelda.
Oh, okay.
Love Sheik.
Back to the Zelda, back to Nintendo. I, 'cause, like, I, 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 I,
Yep. Um, I'm sure there are plenty of video game characters I'd love to cosplay,
There's
and
so
lots of anime characters.
I mean
But yeah.
you have your Funko wall there as inspiration.
Hmm. Hold on one second. I know for sure one girl I would love to cosplay. She's my favorite character in Inuyasha, Sango,
Oh,
the
that's
little demon
perfect.
player. I love her so much.
That would be a
And I
great
just need to find a giant boomerang.
that'd be a great full circle moment for you.
For real.
All right.
Okay.
So we've talked a lot about anime, we've talked a lot about gaming, we've talked a lot about wrestling. Where can people keep up with you as Airica Demia? Where can people keep up with you? I know you mentioned Instagram a minute ago. Good luck scrolling for that photo.
Um, honestly, the easiest way to find me is just Google AiricaDemia, the way it's spelled here,
Right over there.
like that. Just Google it and most of my stuff should come up. There's probably some fake ones. If there's any that have like not a lot of followers or not a lot of likes, that's not me. I'm
Mhm.
not saying I have a lot. I'm just like if it's in the single digits,
Yeah.
that's not me.
If there's 5 likes, it's not the real one.
Yes, that.
Right on. Well, hey, thank you so much for taking the time. Like I said at the start, the site covers everything: wrestling, gaming, things you'd find at a convention, anime, sci-fi, all of that. Probably, I cannot think of anyone off the top of my head that encompasses those three all put together in one like you do. So thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. This is a lot
Abs-
of fun. I'm sorry I talked your head off.
that
I
hey, that's what I have people on for. That's the more talking you do, the better interview it is.
guess that's fair. Yeah.
So, well, we will post as many of your links as we can down below for people to keep up with you. But thank you again for taking the time, and make sure to check out the links below if you're watching.